Greetings comrades and welcome to the new video. Today is again a video where I'll show you some products and I'll share with you how much they cost in Bulgaria right now. And the theme of today's video is fruit. And I'll show you mainly seasonal fruit, but I have some non-typical fruit for our geographical location, which again I'll show you and I'll tell you how much they cost. Have in mind, I don't have all different kinds of seasonal fruit right now, we have more of them, but I'll share with you some others and maybe I'll show them at a later stage as an overlay of the video. So let's start. First I'll start with some traditional fruit for our geographic location. Currently peaches are in season. And I'm from a town which is in the Valley of Peaches. We have some huge peaches. These are obviously not from them, but those are still good, pretty sweet, pretty nice. And for peaches, tell me in the comments how much they cost where you live. Here they're around like €1 per kilogram or even less. But let's say €1 per kilogram, which is 2 leva. And this is pretty cheap, to be honest. You can eat a ton of peaches when they're in season for a very low cost. The good thing is that they are local produce and most of the time they're quite fresh. We prepare compote with them, we prepare some desserts with them, and we prepare different jams and marmalade with peaches. So yeah, peaches are awesome. And speaking of peaches, recently it was the season of apricots during June and July. They already passed. I mean, there's still some apricots in the stores, but they're not like they're in season and they got expensive. But when they were in season, they were around €1.50 for a kilogram. And again, we prepare different types of compote with them. We prepare jams with them and stuff like that. So yeah, apricots are quite cheap also. Other fruit that's in season right now is plums. Those we call them blue plums because they're purple. That's why we call them blue. Logic. We use them to prepare baked jam or marmalade and to prepare compote and to dry them so we can prepare some nice meat stew with these plums. And they're cheap. I mean, it's like 50 euro cents for a kilogram right now, because we have a lot of plums around. Another thing which I don't have at the moment, but I hope I'll get the chance to shoot. We have it for the whole summer and maybe for the first months of the autumn is watermelons. A lot of watermelons we have, which are very cheap. It's around 40 euro cents for a kilogram, and most of them are quite sweet, very sweet and fresh, especially when they're cold. With that said, with the watermelon, now I'll show you a melon that I bought today. It smells so good. I mean, just perfect. It's around 60 euro cents for a kilogram. This whole melon is €1 or 2 leva, which is very cheap. When they're in season, they're very cheap and I have these all the time in my fridge. Let me know how much melons cost where you live. I mean, you see that most of the fruit here is cheap, so I would be very interested to see how much they cost where you live, because I know there are people from all around the world watching me. So yeah, it would be very interesting for me. Okay, went through the peach and a ton of other things which I don't currently have. I'll buy some and you should see the overlays all over. So let's get to pear. Yeah, this is a pear. They're currently not so much in season, but we still have some. These are some big sweet pears. They're crunchy, but in the same time they are very sweet. And for a kilogram of pears you pay like €1.20 or €1.50, which is again pretty cheap for pears. And I love pears. I love their smell, maybe one of my favorite smells. We also prepare compote from these in jars. We used to prepare back in the day. We had 2 big trees in our yard in the Slav village, and we used to prepare pears, or we collected them when they were green, and you roll them in some paper and you just put them in a cold, dry place, and you have pears through the whole winter, like they didn't spoil. We went through the pear. Now let's see an apple. apples. They're in season now. They're in season almost all summer and autumn because there are different sorts of apples here. And this one is from the early apples and it's around 75 euro cents for a kilogram, which is very cheap. Again, they're sweet, they're juicy, you can prepare desserts with them, apple puree, just eat them like that. I mean, apples are awesome, who doesn't like apples? You can even prepare some vinegar from apples, but I don't do, I just love to eat them. This one is very sweet. Now let's go to some non-very typical for Bulgaria fruit. I mean, we have them in the stores all the time, but we don't grow them there. First one is the kiwi. Actually, kiwis, we do grow them around the southern parts of Bulgaria. It's very close to the Greek climate. It's very hot, subtropical climate, so they grow well. We even have one kiwi tree near my home here in the middle of Bulgaria. I'll try to shoot it and show it to you. The people just put it, it's like a vine, so they put it instead the grapes instead of the vines. And yeah, kiwis grow quite well in Bulgaria, but we don't grow a lot of them. And I guess these are from Greece, I'm not sure. Oh no, these are from New Zealand, oh my god. But during the summer they're expensive, during the winter they're quite cheap. I'm not sure why, I'm just saying. We can grow them, but we don't grow a lot of them at that point of time. Maybe in the future this would change because the climate is getting hotter here. These are, like I said, now expensive, like 3 euros for a kilogram, but during the winter they become like euro and a half for a kilogram, which is very cheap, and I very much enjoy eating kiwis. Another fruit which recently started to appear in our shops is mango. This is quite green, but it's getting soft, so soon it would be ready to eat. They used to be very expensive like 2-3 years ago, like 4 euros for one or something like that. Now you can find them for euro and a half most of the time, and you can find some big ones. Very much resembles peach, our peaches here, but it has that smell of perfume. I call it, it's very artificial smell and taste to me. Maybe that because I'm used to eating peaches, that's why. But still from time to time I have a mango. The baby we have loves mango, so mainly for her, but I love it too. Yeah, I enjoy it, and it's not very expensive right now. Speaking of what the baby loves, there's some blueberries. Like these, typically European blueberries are very small, like the forest blueberries, but these are the big variety of blueberries, the American blueberries, like I like to say. In the recent years they grow them here in Bulgaria and in the Balkans. I mean, they grow quite well, and they used to be very expensive, like 15 euros for a kilogram, which is expensive for our standards of living. But in the recent months they're like 5 euros a kilogram over around, so they got cheaper and we started eating a lot of them. Of course, the baby always has blueberries because she's enjoying them quite a lot, to be honest. Okay, we covered the blueberries. Now I have some banana, which is almost dead here. It's very ripe. I should eat it like in half an hour because it looks terrible, to be honest. It stayed in the fridge for a week. That's why it doesn't look very good, but yeah, let's say it would do the job for the video. Bananas here, they are around €1.50 for a kilogram most of the time. Every week you can find them in some store for euro for a kilogram, which is very cheap. We don't grow bananas here, but we have bananas all year long. And last but not least, a lemon. I didn't show other citrus fruit because they are not in season here. I mean, they are never in season because we don't grow them. But lemons I have through the whole year because I use them for a lot of recipes. They're around 2 euros for a kilogram, which is fine. In the winter they become very cheap, like 1 euro for a kilogram. And citrus fruit now we have some, but first they are not very tasty. In the winter they are very tasty. I can't explain that. Maybe the place where they grow during our winter there, and they're in season, and that's why they're very tasty and cheap here. But yeah, fun fact, during the socialism they were bananas, oranges, mandarin oranges and citrus fruit only during Christmas, and you should get in lines for hours to get like a kilogram or two of oranges or bananas, and you ate them only on Christmas. That's why a lot of older people, like 50 years and above or even 40 years and above, they connect citrus fruit smell with Christmas here. I'm not sure if in other socialist countries it was like that, but here in Bulgaria it was exactly like that. This is just a fun fact. That's why when we smell oranges, we say, it smells like Christmas. This was just a fun fact. So this was the plan for today's video, comrades. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't show all the fruit we have available at the moment, but I showed you quite a lot of things. And let me know in the comments how much does fruit where you live come from. Like pick 2 or 3 fruits which I've shown and just tell me in the comments how much do you pay for this fruit where you live. This was all for me for today, comrades. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll Slav you next time.